Ladies, the subject is menopause, and I know from experience that things start to happen when we're not really giving to ourselves in the way that we're meant to give to ourselves. I have found with myself and with all of my clients that there is such a correlation between how well we truly nourish ourselves, mind, body, and spirit, and the menopause symptoms that we experience. So this video is about really the number one thing, the number one natural remedy to alleviate menopause symptoms, because I know when they come on, you're like, what is happening? What do I need to do? But listen, it's such a fantastic time to tune in to your body temple, to really tune into what is happening with my body. What is it asking for? What does it need? So often we're so tuned out with what our bodies are really asking us. And certainly if we end up with a diagnosis or disorder or prognosis, it's because we're not nourishing ourselves. Either that means we're not taking enough silence, we're not taking enough stillness, we're not embodying enough joy and love and peace to keep our nervous system in a parasympathetic biochemistry, which regenerates our cells optimally. When we're stressed, when we're irritated, when it's chaotic, when we're go, 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 when we're not taking time to really be in love with our lives and in love with our children and our partners, the people that we're surrounded by in life, then we're in a stress mode. And if we're in a stress mode, then we're in the sympathetic nervous system, which is fight or flight. And then our biochemistry isn't regenerating optimally. To regenerate optimally, we really want to be alkaline. For one thing, we want to be at a 7.43 alkalinity, which you can test with a pH strip from your local drugstore or Amazon. Of course, they're like $8, and it's really good to test your saliva or your urine and see your alkalinity. Your doctor will not tell you this. I know from experience, you could be a 6.0, which means you're absolutely destined for degenerative disease, and your doctor will not say anything to you about it, and you will not know at all. And of course, the remedy to get more alkaline is more fruits and vegetables, more green juice. Try to make your plate mostly fruits and vegetables and 20% grains or meat or both or whatever else you eat. You want to have a lot of those fresh plants. We thrive, humans thrive when we consume a lot of plants. I'm not saying that we need to consume only plants. That's where our bio individuality comes in. Some people are really awesome on just a plant-based diet. Some people definitely feel better eating meat. Some people feel great eating grains. Some people hate eating grains. We do have our bio individuality. And menopause is one of those times where you can really look in and go, am I feeding myself in the way that my body really wants? And the way that you know that you are is if you're fit and vital. If you're overweight and sluggish and lacking energy, then no, you're not feeding yourself in the way that your body really needs. And by the way, that's super easy to do in our culture because our culture is so full of crap food that's not even real food. I mean, it is insane. We're like over here eating, processed crackers, and we're like, wait, it's like wheat thins. It's like, it's got thin in the title, right? No, that's like the worst thing you could be eating. It's processed wheat and cooked oils and GMO oils and probably GMO. I don't actually know if there's GMO wheat, but there's definitely GMO oils. And that brings me to the point of corn too. There's so many people that feel like popcorn is like this healthy food for you. It's super starchy, causes inflammation, and so much corn is GMO in the US. So you really have to be careful when you're eating corn. Sometimes when you have menopause symptoms, literally alleviating corn, alleviating wheat, alleviating dairy, alleviating sugar, and alleviating wine largely, maybe one glass a day, but maybe even that's messes with the endocrine system a little bit too much. See, here's the thing, guys. We're in this culture of so many bad habits, and that we don't really know that we have bad habits because it's just so commonplace in our culture. So we need to get alkaline, and to bring us to, because I don't want to make this video too long, to bring us to really the number one natural remedy for menopause symptoms is deep vaginal orgasms. Deep vaginal orgasms. So not just clitoral orgasms, but actually deep cervical orgasms, G-spot orgasms, full body orgasms. This is something that many people don't even realize is available to them because they have numb vaginas, which is so common. And this is not like shaming, or, I mean, a lot of times somebody's going to hear this and they're going to go, oh my God, that's right. That's me. Like, I didn't even realize, right? It's so common. So it's nothing to be ashamed of. But if you're not actually experiencing the full pleasure biochemistry that your body's meant to have, because your biochemistry, I mean, they're chemicals, right? It's when you have an orgasm, it floods your system with these amazing chemicals that are healing and nourishing to your system. And so when you're having, deep, full vaginal orgasms on a regular basis, the hormonal symphony that your body is under is completely different than if you're not having those, right? And having that hormonal symphony, the, cocktail of chemicals that is created through that process, alleviates menopausal symptoms for the most part. I mean, of course, I can't say that like absolutely 100% because there's different things going on. There's menopause symptoms are so related to stress, to absolutely what you're eating and drinking, and how much you're sleeping, if you're getting exercise, what kind of relationships you're in, how much stress you're under at work, all of these things. I feel like, there's really, life is about creating the life you love. So, menopausal women, listen up. If you're not in a life that you love in every way, well, guess what? You can create the life you love in every way. You really can. So granted, I understand that you could be listening to this going, this bitch, what is she now? No, but honestly, your consciousness is programmed based on your experiences if you don't know to program it otherwise, right? So I could be coming at you going, you can create a life that you love in every way. You can have freedom in your finances and freedom in your schedule at the same time. Guess what? Many people do. Many people have that life experience. Why can't you have that life experience? Because honestly, I mean, isn't that kind of what we all want, right? Freedom in our schedule and freedom in our finances. Life is beautiful. Freedom to experience the most beautiful that life has to offer, the most fun that life has to offer, right? We can't really do that if we're tied to something that's making us miserable. We want to, all of us want to feel aligned with our spirit and that we're contributing to the world and receiving from it. And that life is just working based on who we are, right? We get to just contribute to the world who we are, and we prosper from that. And if you're in a position in life where that's not at all your experience, your menopausal symptoms might be greater because you have this stress of not really living a life experience that's in alignment with what really resonates with you. So this is an invitation, and it's so fantastic because through these very physical experiences of imbalance, hormonal imbalance, which show up as hot flashes, night sweats, not being able to sleep, being super irritated. Believe me, I have been there. I was there. Like, I have known, you may not know me at all, but 12 years ago, 13 years ago, I had a show on Hulu, a raw food show. It was called Blythe Raw Live, super healthy. Like, I'm so plugged in. I'm so jacked in to understanding the body's self-healing design. Yet I had 2 kids. I got super busy. I started a publishing company, or I have all these things going. And even though I knew exactly the principles and the practices. I didn't always implement them in my life. And I had an imbalanced diet. In terms of alkalinity and acidity, I was eating much more acidic foods and maybe alkaline foods. I was rushy. I wasn't getting enough sleep. I found myself in a chaotic mindset many of the times, especially dealing with, if any of you are parents out there, young children are a lot to manage, right? Like you really have to deal with their tantrums and their chaos from a very grounded, peaceful place and not react to, if you're not a parent, you have no idea the challenge of having little tantrum beings when they're just throwing their tantrums all the time everywhere. You're like, I've created this space of calm and peace, yet I have these beings that are just throwing tantrums all the time because they want, 3 servings of ice cream that day. And it is not for their highest good to have that, right? It's like, as a parent, you just sometimes have to be like, wow, this is really not for your highest good. I cannot give into this. Yet we're dealing with these massive tantrums. And so for me, that was a really hard transition to make because I was used to having a very peaceful home environment. I had almost 2 decades of adulthood before I had children. And so I had very much established a peaceful, beautiful home environment. And then you have babies and it's very peaceful and wonderful with the babies. And then, once they get preferences that are like ice cream all day long, TV all day long, and you're like, no, I can't. And so they have their tantrums about it. And, it's a lot to handle the energy of all of that. And so for me, that's what kind of threw me off, where I was just leaning into like cookies or like, you know what I mean? It's just like, you're just like kind of finding these little pleasures, and that's not what you want to do. You don't want to find pleasure in food or alcohol. You want to find pleasure in sunshine and flowers and orgasms. that's where, because the hormonal symphony that's created by your deep vaginal orgasms will balance all of your hormones, and so that you do not have these symptoms of hormonal imbalance, such as hot flashes, night sweats, irritability, rage, so forth. So I want to empower you that our culture wants to tell women that like, oh, after this transition that, you dry up, so to speak, or whatever the culture says. That's not true. It's just not true. But what happens is if we spend month after month, year after year, and then it becomes decade after decade of not using our sexual energy that are these hormones of vitality. Your sexual energy is your creative energy, and it's your energy of vitality. And if you're not using it, then the imbalances happen. We experience it. And then degeneration sets in. So you want to be using your energy for regeneration. And if you're not in a relationship, of course, you don't need to be in a relationship to be giving yourself like Yoni massages. Should I just show you what you can use for a really amazing Yoni massage? This crystal, this is a rose quartz phallus. Is this not fantastic? You definitely want to be having a practice where you strengthen your pelvic floor, and a tool such as this amazing rose quartz phallus. This is an amazing tool to not only give yourself Yoni massage that will help you release the biochemistry in your body that will balance your hormones to alleviate this is so funny, like out of the bottom of the frame, it's like, your menopausal symptoms. So doing a Yoni massage on a regular basis with this heavy, amazing rose quartz phallus will help you create that biochemistry, help you create those hormones, which is amazing. Plus it'll strengthen your pelvic floor, which will do so many wonderful things for you. It not only will actually brighten your face, but it will help you stop peeing in your pants if that's an issue when you sneeze or jump up and down or whatever. If that's an issue that you're having, that can absolutely be remedied with some exercises with this or a Yoni egg. Also, your orgasms will start to become like full body orgasms when you really start to like train with something like this heavy and this great. If you're actually interested in getting a rose quartz phallus or another sort of crystal phallus, if that's actually interesting to you, leave a comment of yes, please. And I can probably manage to supply some of these for you if you guys are interested in these at a reasonable price. Of course, we don't want to make it too crazy because I want people to actually understand this isn't about like porn. Like it's not about like anything crazy. It's about true self-care and really understanding your own biochemistry and what your body really needs. And like, I mean, women don't understand the power of their vaginas. It's literally the portal of life. And it's this center of massive pleasure. And there's so many women that don't even they're not even tuned into that pleasure at all and don't even know what they're capable of. Because look, some women experience next level pleasure without inviting it or having any sort of conscious awareness. But most women do not. Most women have numb vaginas to some degree, maybe from some level of trauma or sexual shame or something. And they're not oriented to understanding that their vagina is this massive portal of healing, creativity, power, pleasure. And, of course it's a portal of life, but it's not the only thing that it's meant to be used for. It's actually meant to create pleasure in the body that creates pleasure in your life. Because when your body, when you raise your vibration and experience true cellular pleasure, it raises your vibration and then you attract new experiences into your life. It's really, you're always attracting what you are, right? So if you allow yourself to have more healthy pleasure, like what your body is created to experience, you're just going to manifest a life that's more pleasurable. So we have to allow ourselves to have pleasure because frankly, a lot of people don't. A lot of people are like stuck in their misery and they're not interested in pleasure. And I think it's really great to, take a look and kind of acknowledge that about yourself. If you're like, I'm not interested in pleasure, like really take a look at like why, what is the block? Why there's so much of a resistance against allowing yourself to receive pleasure, especially when it's this innate pleasure that you are designed for and you don't need someone else to give you. It's not like you're like seeking someone out there to give you pleasure. It's like, no, have a great, crystal tool for it, right? You can create this pleasure yourself. And by doing so, you're literally creating the biochemistry that allows you to stay in balance and not experience some of the symptoms of menopause. So I hope that was helpful. Like taking time for yourself in this way. I know there's a resistance. There's a barrier. A lot of people feel like it's frivolous. They feel like I can't really, unless it's with a partner. And by all means, if you have this amazing, loving partner and you can go deeper together and really spend time really cultivating next level pleasure so that you have the hormone secretion that will keep you in balance. Like if you are in love and you have a relationship that it's the perfect time. Menopause is the perfect time. And by menopause, I mean this transition, you might be feeling the misalignment. You might be feeling the change in hormonal levels. And it might be because you're making different choices now than you were making 10 years ago or 20 years ago in terms of your sex life, your diet, your exercise, etc. And that's why we start to see the change. So instead, get back to action the way that you were 10 years ago or 20 years ago in terms of your virility, your energy. And the more you prioritize your own pleasure, the more energy and vitality you will have, and absolutely the less menopause symptoms you'll have. So be sure to comment, yes, please, if you're interested in having one of these amazing crystal phalluses, and I can see what I can do for you. And, let me know if this content is helpful to you, because, my space is healthy lifestyle and metaphysical. And I'm finding that so many people are not aware that their sexual energy is this like health nourishing biochemical gift. And so even though perhaps it's a little off brand for me to be like bringing out a crystal cock and like showing you, I think it's really important that women like get it. Like you're like allowed to give yourself like an amazing Yoni massage that actually bathes you in the biochemistry that helps you stay young and beautiful and creative and vital without the imbalance of, hot flashes and night sweats and irritability. Give it a try, because something, all you have to do is try it to see that like, oh, after I give myself a really nice Yoni massage and have an incredible orgasm, I don't have hot flashes. And as long as I'm tuning back into that, every few days, then suddenly my body is in a different biochemical reality. And the imbalance is no longer in existence. So I hope that was super helpful. This is, it's free, right, for you to implement. And I think that's really important too, that there's not something that there's not a cream or a pill or something that you need to take, every day or every month for the rest of your life to make you just normal, right? It's like everything that you need is within you. You just need to know how to tap into it, literally, right? All right. Bye for now. Lots of love. Stay tuned. We're going to have lots of great content coming out. Ciao.